Hello, Connecticut. Let's turn things around. All this talk about gun violence, and it doesn't address the shootings, which are skyrocketing. Certain cities have a 180% increase in shootings. But there are ways to reduce gun violence, folks, and we're not addressing it in a state fashion in Connecticut. No, we're not. 40 cities in Connecticut use ShotSpotter. Let's talk about ShotSpotter. Let me give you the details. You make up your mind, and maybe we could share it so that people understand how to fix the problem. Now, you look at Senator Murphy. He's not allowed in Newtown anymore because he wrung that thing dry and dragged those people through an emotional time. And did you know the money that they raised? I think 70% of it is missing. So go figure now. Blumenthal thinks Republicans are complicit in every mass shooting. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So here we go. Let's talk about ShotSpotter. It's super important. I want to bring it on screen. I want to talk to you about these issues. And here we go. Here we go. ShotSpotter is used in Bridgeport. This is what the screen looks like. It detects shootings in seconds, and the city approved it in 2018, and they launched it in December 2018. They are crediting ShotSpotter, okay, within less than a minute. It can calculate the frequency, the number of shots, what type of gun is being used, and that information is saving lives, because if you know there's a semi-automatic weapon being used at a supermarket, you will approach differently than, for example, if you knew it was a firework. You wouldn't send 6 cop cars, which is very costly, to investigate a couple of firecrackers on the 4th of July. But see, now they don't know en route. They hear, if you realize only 20% of gunshots are recorded by 911. And a lot of these statistics are available here. The Institute found that 72% of the shots were triangulated within a 25-foot margin of error. That's quite incredible. It will save lives. It saves time. It reduces costs dramatically. And it stops many of the accidents that occur when even a cop panics. Here we go. For all 126 recorded shots fired calls, how many had residents calling 911? We're not sure. It's 20%, I believe. So when you look at the articles, that one's a Bridgeport article, okay, giving credit to ShotSpotter, which Norwalk doesn't have, okay? Norwalk does not have ShotSpotter because they are ridiculously bad with their Common Council. They don't understand what's happening, nor are they even thinking about fixing problems. So, I'm going to try to change my focus a little bit to more problem solution. Look here on the screen. Here's Oakland, which is a crime-ridden city. Information was used on 2 shootings right here in this article. Basically, ShotSpotter helps them, and it gives them the location of the shooter. They're able to find the evidence faster. In other words, they know within 25 feet of where the shot was taken. They can approach in a different manner, a safer they can change their safety guidelines based on the input from this system. Now, let's play a short video, okay? This is important.
In the past, there was a slim chance the shooting would be reported to police at all. Even when it was, it took precious time, and there was often confusion regarding the location of the shooting and other pertinent information. At least, that's how things were. ShotSpotter has changed all that. By utilizing advanced technology honed over 2 decades, we have automated the process. We monitor gunfire activity 24/7. So if a gun is fired in any area within ShotSpotter coverage, the system detects, locates, and immediately alerts police of the gunshot. So how does it work? It starts with acoustic sensors that are placed on buildings or lampposts throughout a neighborhood. If a gun is fired anywhere in the area, multiple sensors detect and timestamp the sound. The precise location of the gunshot is determined based on the amount of time it takes for the sound of the gunshot to travel to each individual sensor, effectively triangulating the sound. The exact location of the detected gunshot is indicated by a dot on a map.
Let's say there's fireworks in Norwalk at Rudner Court, and it's not a shooting. 6 cops will be speeding through neighborhoods, and God knows if there's a kid on a bike. I'm just giving you a for instance. ShotSpotter can change that, and it's worth every penny, considering that you don't need to buy the equipment, you can lease it. Here we are. Gun homicides in the U.S. annually, 14,542. Here, people injured by guns annually, 76,000. The cost of gun violence annually. Did you know 80% of gun crimes go unreported? Well, gee, did you know that? 80%. You should do your own research on ShotSpotter. It's super important. Look, ShotSpotter precision policing platforms contribute to a 33% decrease in gunfire in 2020 in Fort Myers, Florida. Here, reduction part 1, crime area with patrol management versus control area. Learn more. 33% reduction in gunshots because A, they have a faster response time. They can catch people quicker. They can provide a safer route. They can demonstrate how this pays for itself. And truthfully, one life would pay for ShotSpotter. One life. So here you go. Positive outcomes in large cities. They are saying there's a 10% improvement in the clearance rate of ShotSpotter. In other words, management of the issues. So there's lots and lots of articles. 10 minutes of work revealed how many? 8 articles about ShotSpotter. Well, what is Connecticut doing about it? 40 cities out of 169 use it. Not Norwalk. Norwalk needs it. Let me tell you. Living down on Quintard is it's not safe. We have prison release on our street. They closed a maximum security prison recently in Connecticut. It's closing July 1. They have 65 violent serial killers there. They are sending them to mental facilities that are not equipped to handle violent, menacing, known murderers. And if you look at Senator Will Haskell's policy, sorry, my phone's ringing. He wants to make parole automatic, folks. Reducing prisons, setting them free. Look what AOC just said. The way to reduce crime is to stop building prisons. Are you kidding me? That's the Democratic spokesman of the far left I cannot believe she is that silly. Are the Democrats in Norwalk that silly? Oh, let me tell you, they love her. They love what she's doing. When you look at these topics, why hasn't the Common Council in Norwalk got ShotSpotter yet? I'll tell you why. They want 6 cops responding to every fireworks incident. They're all getting overtime. Many of them earn over $200,000 a year. Quite a few. And look at Kahalik's recent, was it Lisa Wexler show interview? Oh, give us a break. The Grisanti family is due an apology. They had a meeting yesterday, last night to be exact, and they made her apologize for calling them the Three Stooges. Oh, no apology coming from me. They are the Three Stooges. There was a kidnapping that led to a murder. They prosecuted the guy on the kidnapping, not the murder. They didn't interview people right away. And there's lots of leads. Kahalik's in charge. It reminds me of the Greenwich Global money laundering case. It was called in on September 30th, 2000. 9 detectives later, we gave them many stolen checks. They were working on the largest money laundering case in Connecticut history, and Detective Maloney is sitting on it. Deputy Chief Zecca is giving no response. No outcome. It's an ongoing investigation, just like the Grisanti case, so they can't talk about it because they're doing nothing. And what are they doing? Responding to fireworks with 6 cop cars, probably running someone over soon. And if you haven't noticed, the 3rd cop this year in Norwalk has been arrested. What will happen with that? I'll tell you. Hume doesn't care. Ronzinski doesn't care. The way to fix the Norwalk Police Department is by firing internal affairs and putting guys like me on a board with oversight. If you look at their responses to every question on the Wexler radio show, civilian complaints. I have 9 outstanding civilian complaints, or 10. No answer. Hi, Matera's one of them. Matera is screwing up the Grisanti murder investigation from day one. Day one. If he inherited it now, it's 36 years old. Do you think that since the murderer is dead now, that they can release the information about the leads? Because the leads are important. The day of that kidnapping, it happened at night. The following morning, the kidnapper called a friend and borrowed a truck. That truck needed to be investigated immediately because it probably moved the body to the river where it was hidden. Oh yeah. So when you look at the cases, they didn't investigate that car. Ever. There's a lot of leads. Never investigated. Let me ask you a question. If 8 bank accounts were looted in 2000, and I'm required to have those bank account statements. When Bank America changed the addresses of those statements, I've never gotten one since. So if there's 1,200 cashed stolen checks in bank accounts in Norwalk, why didn't they subpoena the banking records, which I tried to do through multiple court cases to try to get people's monies back? We're talking about millions of shares of stock missing? Millions. Okay. It's related to Bernie Madoff. Yes, because he was chairman of NASDAQ. There's so many problems with Jim Himes taking kickbacks from Bank America. It's worse than Oxy. Yeah, Oxy's terrible. Okay? But imagine having NSA oversight and FBI oversight and framing a sitting president. These cops are able to frame people by falsifying documents in criminal investigations that are ongoing, not telling you, okay, There are cases, yes, and it's openly discussed that Harry Rilling has a file of financial crimes that the Detective Bureau will never investigate. So here we go. That's what Norwalk's doing. Oh no, they don't use ShotSpotter. Why? Because they're not smart enough to use ShotSpotter. Why? Let's triangulate where the shots are fired, have a faster response time, and have the guy driving there safer. Prevent more crime by solving cases. What a miracle! Oh my Lord! There are cases that haven't been solved. And I have never had a meeting with Internal Affairs, and I've been refused time and time again. So let me tell you, there are criminals in Norwalk. I don't care. I'll talk about it. When you have checks that are cashed and stolen, why don't they contact the bank? Why didn't they take the call of the Securities Exchange Commission during the meeting that was set up in advance? Why do the cops say we will have a field day against Bank America when in fact it's a bribery machine? That's what it is. And it involves the chief state's attorney because, listen to this, Norwalk has a file on Greenwich Global. It's a Norwalk business. Clairvoyant's a Norwalk business. A lot of Norwalk businesses are affected. A lot of Norwalk residents are affected. At least 9. There are hundreds of people affected by the money laundering I'm talking about. If you look at Flynn versus NFS, Colangelo, our chief state's attorney, is a defendant. Why? Because he falsified a 21-year investigation. The Grisanti murder investigation has been falsified for 36 years. Do you think it's about time to give the lady, the sister, the evidence so unredacted so she can read it? After all, the murderer is dead. He got a 14-year sentence. He was released after 5 years early to commit another crime, and he already committed 2 murders. There is one case in Connecticut where the guy attempted 3 murders, 77 arrests. Prosecute, release. Prosecute, release. You know what? If he can be bought, that murderer, he'll be back again. Why are the prosecutors releasing these people? Why are they legalizing prostitution, which is what they're doing? Will make women more victims. There will be more victims. I understand that the prostitute is likely a victim of crime herself. But Blumenthal interviewed one on tape on Quinnipiac's law school site. He gave her an award for being a victim, a human trafficked victim. And from 2006 to 2016, there were 400 human trafficking arrests and 0 convictions. Why? Why? Because we're putting them back on the street because they're not doing their job, earning $200,000 a year, wasting time and not using ShotSpotter. If I was a cop, like my uncle was and his 3 sons, I would give up part of my pay to have ShotSpotter in a city where I found 9 rounds on Quintard one day. 9 rounds. I reported it. 9 shots fired on my street. I reported it. No police report generated. Are you kidding me? They didn't even ask me for the shells, which probably had fingerprints on them, because they're not doing their job. I don't want to defund the police. I want them to make them do their job. I do my job. It's riskier than theirs. Yeah. Have a great day, folks. I'm at 20 minutes. I got to stop. But I want you to listen about ShotSpotter as a solution to one of our problems. 40 cities use it, and 129 don't. Norwalk needs ShotSpotter because shootings in Norwalk are everyday occurrences.